want to start writing, but I'm just so scared. Scaredy cat writer, is that you? Stay tuned.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live with the hardcore style.
Hey Writer Boos, it's your girl, Write with Carla, and I'm here for a wine and writing tip. But before we get to the writing tip, let's talk about Kim Crawford wines. This is a rosé from New Zealand, the 2018 bottle. Now I looked up what makes rosé because I thought, okay, you have white wine from white grapes, you have red wine from red grapes, purple grapes, and where does rosé come from? There are no pink grapes in nature. Well, I found out that the way rosé gets its color is they take red grapes, they squeeze the juice out of the grapes and then let the juice sit on the skin. That's where the color comes from, the skin of the grape. So with rosé, they only let the juice stay on the skin for about 2 or 3 days, and it gives it this beautiful pinky or rosé color. So now let's dive on into Scaredy cat writers. I have my baby here. His name is Cairo. Hey Cairo, how are you doing today? I love you too. Okay, so Cairo is here for you Scaredy cat writers. Now, nobody knows that you're a scaredy cat. You know it and I know it. That's it. Nobody else has to know. But there are several reasons why you might be considered a scaredy cat writer. Come here. Stop dancing behind the camera! Now, okay, goodbye. Reason 1, why you may be a scaredy cat writer. Perhaps you've never written anything, so you're thinking, okay, I really have a story to tell. I really have something that I want to talk about, but I'm not a writer. I've never really written anything. Nobody's ever read what I have wrote, the 2 or 3 pieces that I have done, and you feel like because you haven't written anything that you aren't qualified to do it. Well, have you ever heard of first-time mothers? I once was a first-time mother. Just because I didn't have any children or didn't have any experience with children didn't mean that I was going to be a bad mom. Chasey Poo!
Yes.
Do you think I'm a bad mom?
No, ma'am.
Are you saying that just because you're on my screen, on my video? You think I'm a
No.
good mom? So just because you've never written anything doesn't mean that you will not be able to do it. So don't use that as an excuse. Just get over that fear, jump over that little hurdle, open up that computer and get to work. 2, you've done it once unsuccessfully and you're afraid to give it another go. Now, I do understand that demon called failure is real. And if you do something and you fail miserably at it, well, you don't even have to fail miserably. But if you take an L, chances are you're going to be very hesitant to go back. And I understand that. I too have written things that failed. And I was like, forget this. I'm not writing anything else. I'm done. Hold on. Okay, I'm done. I'm not going to write anymore. But if you feel that way, you will never accomplish your goal. Nobody will ever hear your story. Nobody will ever be motivated by you. Nobody will ever be inspired by you. You're just leaving all of the millions of people who are waiting on your book. You're going to leave them to rot and to live the rest of their lives, not knowing what it is that you had to offer them. Don't take it to your grave. 3, perhaps you wrote something recently and it's a little bit difficult for you to get back into. So I had a consultation call and the young lady was about 50% done. And I said, okay, great. So what do you need from me? Do you need me to take the book and write the rest of it for you? Or do you just want me to coach you along? She wanted me to coach her along. Okay, well, why did you stop writing? She said, I don't know. I mean, I wrote half of it and then I just stopped. So I feel that when you stop writing like that, either you're unmotivated or you're scared. You're scared that you will actually finish the book and it will be a success. Or you're scared that you'll finish the book and it won't be a success. Either way, if you're writing and you stop, you're stopping yourself short of greatness. So there is a fear there. You're being a little scaredy cat. We just have to figure out what it is that you are afraid of. 4, what will they say? Oh, Carla, I don't want people to read this and know who I am. Now, there are still people who go by pen names. Obviously, I am not one of them. I want the world to know that I wrote Mask Off, Sergeant Knight novel, Love Drug, Volume 2, and Love and War, Volume 3, which is on its way. I didn't use a pen name, but some people do. And it could be because they don't want their names attached to it. Let's take Zane, for example. If you're watching this video, chances are you know exactly who Zane is. Zane had a normal 9-to-5 job, or she was a stay-at-home mom or something, PTA mom. Anyway, she didn't want the people in her community, at her children's school, and in her church knowing that she wrote the type of things that she wrote. So she went by a pen name. Some of you are letting that same fear hold you hostage. What will they think? What will they say? How will they look at me? You qualify yourself to do it. Don't let them tell you what you can or cannot write. Don't let them talking or murmuring about you keep you from writing what it is you want to write. There are some things that I've written that were a little risque. And my mother, being a woman of the cloth, she took a certain interest in my writing just to make sure that it was okay. So my method is, if my mom can't read it, then I'm not going to write it. I want to be respectful of her friends and how she feels. And of course, I'm just not going to put smut out. But you can't let what others say dictate who you are or dictate your message. If all of the great people worried about what other people were going to say, they wouldn't be great people. We wouldn't know them. And they've all taken L's, no matter who they were. So if people have something to say about you writing a book, say, oh my gosh, really? Well, I'd appreciate your support anyway. And text them the link. Or say, hey, let me send this to you. Open up your phone to Safari. Pull up your book on Amazon and say, here you go. Go ahead and buy your copy. Number 5, you don't feel qualified. What qualifies you to write your book is your experience. You have lived this life, and you have lived this life alone. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, every single second of every single minute of your life has been alone. Yes, you may be a twin. Yes, you may have been with your soulmate since the age of 5, but they aren't with you 24/7. What qualifies you to tell your story, what qualifies you to educate people, is the fact that you have lived this journey on your own. Nobody can tell you how to feel about it, and your feelings are genuine. Your feelings are real and true. So you are qualified to motivate us. You are qualified to tell us your story. You are beyond qualified to write that book. And 6. The 6th reason why you are a scaredy cat writer is, I don't know. You just have a book and you want to write about it. You have a story to tell, but you always say, I don't know what's holding me back. I asked somebody that today in my DMs. You have 2, what did he say? He had 2 notebooks full of poetry. I said, well, that sounds like you have 2 poetry books, or at least 1 good one. So what's kept you from publishing? He simply said, I don't know. So are you afraid, or are you unmotivated? Are you nervous? Are you wondering what people are going to say? Are you letting their opinions hold weight over your life and your greatness? I surely hope not. Happy writing.